Hello, curious minds and adventurous English learners, and a very warm welcome back to the Daily English Subtitled Podcast. I am your host, Aash, and today we are going to do something truly special. We are not just going to learn English, we are going to embark on a thrilling adventure, a journey into the unknown that will challenge your mind, expand your vocabulary, and perhaps even make you think differently about your own path in life. Have you ever felt an irresistible pull towards something new? Something completely unknown, even when it seemed illogical or perhaps a little bit frightening. Like a whisper in your soul telling you there is more out there beyond the familiar? Today we embark on a journey where the unexpected becomes the only path, and every turn reveals a new layer of mystery. Our human history is filled with tales of exploration, of venturing into uncharted territories, driven by curiosity, necessity, or simply the allure of the unknown. From ancient navigators sailing beyond the visible horizon to modern scientists probing the depths of the universe, the desire to discover, to understand what lies beyond our current perception, is deeply ingrained in us. And today, we will tap into that very spirit of adventure through a captivating narrative, The Unexpected Journey. This story is not just for entertainment. It is a powerful tool designed to sharpen your English listening comprehension, to introduce you to new vocabulary and phrases in a natural, contextual way, and to help you understand the rhythm and flow of spoken English. Why is listening to stories such a powerful way to improve your English? Because stories engage your imagination, they create a mental picture, and they provide a natural context for language. You are not just memorizing words, you are experiencing them. You are not just learning grammar rules, you are seeing them in action. This immersive approach helps you internalize the language more effectively, making it easier to recall and use in your own conversations. Plus, it is far more enjoyable than rote memorization, would you not agree? So, how will our journey unfold today? We will begin by setting the scene, introducing our main character, and the mysterious catalyst that sets her on this unexpected path. Then we will follow her as she ventures into the uncharted, facing obstacles and encountering strange phenomena. The story will build to a thrilling climax, where a profound revelation awaits, followed by the falling action where the consequences of her journey unfold. Finally, we will dedicate a significant portion of this episode to unpacking the story, with comprehension questions to test your understanding, and a vocabulary review to solidify your new words. We will also have discussion points to encourage you to connect with the story on a deeper, personal level. This is going to be an immersive experience, so I encourage you to find a quiet place, put on your headphones and let your imagination soar. Are you ready to step into a world where maps are not always accurate, and destiny takes an unexpected turn? I certainly hope so. Before we begin our tale, I have an intriguing question for you. What is the most unexpected journey, literal or metaphorical, you have ever taken in your life? Perhaps it was a sudden career change, a spontaneous trip, or even a profound shift in your beliefs. Share a brief thought or a single word about your experience in the comments below. Your experiences are a part of the rich tapestry of life, and I am eager to hear about them. Our story begins in the ancient, walled city of Eldoria, a place where time seemed to move at a more deliberate pace, where history was etched into every cobblestone, and tradition was the very air people breathed. In the heart of this venerable city lived our protagonist, a young woman named Elara. Elara was a cartographer, a maker of maps. Not just any maps, mind you, but meticulously detailed charts of Eldoria and its surrounding well-known territories. Her days were predictable, filled with the precise measurements of land, the delicate strokes of her quill, and the comforting scent of parchment and ink. She was known for her accuracy, her unwavering attention to detail, and her quiet, contemplative nature. Her life was a perfectly drawn line, straight and true from one point to the next. Elara lived in a small, cozy house that had been in her family for generations. It was filled with old books, dusty scrolls, and the echoes of her ancestors. One crisp autumn evening, as a gentle rain tapped against her window, Elara was meticulously cleaning her grandfather's old desk, a massive, oak behemoth that had seen centuries of map-making. She ran her hand along a worn, intricately carved panel, and to her surprise, it gave way with a soft click, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, nestled amongst forgotten letters and dried flowers, lay a rolled-up piece of parchment. It was not like any map she had ever seen. This map was ancient, its edges frayed, its surface a mosaic of faded colors and strange symbols. It depicted a land that was not on any known chart of Eldoria. A land beyond the Whispering Peaks, past the Serpent's Sea, in a region that was, according to all her textbooks, simply empty, a blank space on the world. The lines were drawn with an unfamiliar hand, and some of the landmarks seemed to shift and shimmer as she looked at them, almost as if they were alive. It was a place that, by all logical accounts, should not exist. Elara, the woman of precision and logic, felt a strange, unsettling tremor in her heart. Her initial reaction was skepticism, of course. This must be a child's fantasy, a whimsical drawing, or perhaps a very elaborate hoax. She tried to dismiss it, even chuckling to herself, muttering, "A map to nowhere, how amusing." She even showed it to her grumpy old cat, Jasper, who merely blinked slowly and then resumed his nap, clearly unimpressed by the mysteries of the universe. But the more she looked at it, the more the map called to her. The symbols, though alien, seemed to hum with a silent energy. The impossible geography began to feel real. It was a challenge to her very understanding of the world, a direct contradiction to every map she had ever drawn. Her logical mind wrestled with an irresistible pull towards the unknown. The quiet cartographer, whose life was defined by boundaries and known territories, suddenly found herself staring at a path that led to nowhere she recognized, but everywhere her spirit yearned to go. The map was a silent question, and Elara, despite her predictable life, found herself desperate to find the answer. The seed of an unexpected journey had been planted. If you found a mysterious map to an unknown land, a place that should not exist, would you follow it? Or would you stick to what you know, to the comfort of the familiar? Tell us about your adventurous spirit or your cautious nature in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to hear what path you would choose. The decision was not an easy one. 4 days, Elara wrestled with the ancient map, her logical mind battling the growing sense of wonder and curiosity. Sleep became a luxury, replaced by vivid dreams of shimmering landscapes and whispering winds. Finally, driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge and a quiet defiance of the known, Elara made her choice. She would follow the map. Her preparations were meticulous, as befitted a cartographer, but also shrouded in secrecy. She packed only the essentials: her most reliable compass, a sturdy set of boots, dried provisions, and of course her mapping tools, though she suspected they might be useless where she was going. She left a cryptic note for her aunt, promising to return with stories that would defy belief. One moonless night, under the cloak of shadows, Elara slipped out of Eldoria's ancient gates, leaving behind the predictable lines of her life for the wild, untamed curves of the unknown. Her initial journey was through familiar landscapes, the rolling hills and dense forests that bordered Eldoria. But soon the terrain began to change. The paths grew faint, then disappeared entirely. Her compass, once her most trusted companion, began to spin erratically as if confused by the very air. Her first true obstacle came in the form of a treacherous mountain pass, its narrow trails crumbling, its peaks shrouded in an unnatural mist that seemed to cling to her very soul. The air grew thin, and strange, echoing sounds seemed to emanate from the rocks themselves. She navigated by instinct, by the faint, almost imperceptible shifts in the map's shimmering lines, and by a stubborn determination that she did not know she possessed. After days of arduous climbing, she descended into a forest unlike any she had ever charted. The trees were impossibly tall, their leaves a deep, iridescent blue, and the ground glowed with a soft, phosphorescent light. Here she began to encounter the truly mysterious. Fleeting glimpses of creatures that defied zoological classification. Birds with wings like stained glass, and small furry beings that moved with impossible speed. She heard music, faint and ethereal, carried on the wind, though no instruments were visible. One evening she stumbled upon a clearing where ancient, unidentifiable ruins stood, their stones humming with a low, resonant frequency. They were clearly man-made, yet no known civilization could have built them. It was unsettling yet exhilarating. As she pressed deeper, The map's influence grew stronger, guiding her through a labyrinth of glowing flora and singing streams. The challenges were constant: a river with an unusual current that seemed to pull her towards its center, a field of flowers that changed color with her mood, a cave that whispered forgotten languages. Yet, with each obstacle overcome, Elara's initial fear transformed into a fierce determination. She was no longer just a cartographer. She was an explorer, a pioneer. The unknown was no longer a blank space, but a canvas waiting to be filled. She was getting closer to the heart of the mystery, to the place that should not exist, and a strange sense of belonging began to settle in her heart. Now, for your next intriguing question. What kind of unexpected challenges do you think Elara will face as she gets even closer to her destination? What would be your biggest fear if you were in her shoes, venturing into such an unpredictable and mysterious place? Share your thoughts and fears in the comments below. Let us imagine the possibilities together. After weeks of relentless travel, navigating through landscapes that defied logic and encountering phenomena that challenged her very perception of reality, Elara finally reached the heart of the mystery. The map, which had been her enigmatic guide, began to glow with an intense, steady light, pulling her towards a colossal, shimmering waterfall. But this was no ordinary waterfall. Instead of water, cascades of pure, liquid light poured down from an impossibly high cliff, creating a shimmering curtain that pulsed with vibrant colors. Behind this luminous veil, a city emerged, a breathtaking spectacle of crystal spires and floating gardens, bathed in an ethereal glow. It was the lost city of Ethelgard, a place whispered about in ancient legends, believed to be nothing more than a myth. It was unlike anything she had ever seen, a place where nature and architecture merged into a single living entity. As Elara stepped through the lightfall, she felt a profound shift. The air itself hummed with energy, and the very ground beneath her feet seemed to resonate with ancient power. This was not just a lost land, it was a nexus of time and magic, a place where the veil between worlds was thin. The revelation hit her with the force of a physical blow. Ethelgard was a sanctuary, a living library of forgotten knowledge, maintained by beings of pure energy, the Lumina. They were the guardians of this realm, and they had been waiting for someone like Elara, someone with a pure heart and an insatiable thirst for truth. Her arrival, however, was not without its challenges. The Lumina, though benevolent, were also protectors. Elara was immediately confronted by a shimmering humanoid figure, its form composed of pure light. This was Lyra, the primary guardian, whose voice resonated with the wisdom of ages. Lyra presented Elara with a choice, a moral dilemma that would determine not only her fate but perhaps the fate of Ethelgard itself. The city was powered by a fading ancient artifact, the Chronos crystal, and its energy was dwindling. Elara, with her unique connection to the physical world and her cartographic precision, possessed the rare ability to recalibrate the crystal, but doing so would require her to sacrifice a part of her own memories, specifically, all memories of Eldoria, her home. It was a test of her character, a decision between her past and the future of a forgotten world.
High stakes indeed. The air crackled with tension. Elara's mind raced. Could she truly give up her past, her identity, for a place she had only just discovered? The weight of the decision pressed down on her. She thought of her quiet life in Eldoria, the comfort of the familiar, the love of her aunt. But then, she looked at the shimmering city, at the Lumina, at the ancient knowledge waiting to be preserved. A mischievous thought, a tiny spark of humor, flickered through her mind. Well, at least I will not have to remember all those boring maps I drew. It was a small, absurd thought in a moment of immense gravity, but reminded her of the joy of discovery, the thrill of the unknown that had brought her here. With a deep breath, Elara made her choice. Now, for your next call to action, if you could discover any lost place or secret, what would it be? And more importantly, what do you think Elara should do now that she has found this mysterious place and faces such a profound choice? Should she sacrifice her memories to save Ethelgard? Or should she try to find another way? Share your theories and your reasoning in the comments below. Your insights are always welcome. In a moment of profound courage and selflessness, Elara made her choice. She would sacrifice her memories of Eldoria to recalibrate the Chronos crystal and save Ethelgard. Lyra, the guardian, guided her to the heart of the city, with a magnificent crystal pulsed weekly. With a touch, Elara channeled her unique energy, her cartographic precision, into the crystal. A wave of pure light enveloped her, and for a fleeting moment, she saw flashes of her past, her aunt's smile, the familiar streets of Eldoria, the scent of her grandfather's study. Then, it was gone, replaced by a sense of profound peace and a new, deeper understanding of the universe. The Chronos crystal flared to life, its light restoring the city to its full glory, and the lumina resonated with gratitude. Elara had saved Ethelgard, but at a personal cost. She now possessed an immense knowledge of the universe, of time, and of magic, but her personal history, her connection to her past life, was a blank slate. She was no longer just Elara of Eldoria. She was Elara, the savior of Ethelgard, a being connected to the very fabric of existence. She spent weeks in Ethelgard, learning from the Lumina, exploring the floating gardens, and studying the ancient texts in the living library. She discovered that Ethelgard was not just a sanctuary, but a beacon, sending out subtle signals across dimensions, hoping to guide those with pure hearts and open minds to its wisdom. She also learned that her own family, generations ago, had been connected to Ethelgard, and the map was not just a random find, but a destined call. Now came the decision of her return. The Lumina offered her a choice: to remain in Ethelgard, becoming one of them, or to return to her world, carrying the wisdom of Ethelgard, but without her personal memories. Elara chose to return. She felt a new purpose, a desire to share the profound knowledge she had gained, even if she could not remember the specifics of her past. Lyra, with a gentle touch, opened a portal, not back to Eldoria, but to a different time, a different place, where her knowledge would be most needed. Elara stepped through, a new being, carrying the echoes of a forgotten past and the promise of an extraordinary future. Her return was not to Eldoria, but to a bustling, modern city, a place of towering skyscrapers and roaring vehicles. She had no memory of her past life, but she carried the wisdom of Ethelgard, a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. She found herself drawn to places of learning, to libraries and universities, where she began to share her knowledge, not as a cartographer, but as a storyteller, a philosopher, a guide. She spoke of the beauty of the unknown, the importance of curiosity, and the power of unexpected journeys. She never remembered her old life, but she lived a new one, filled with purpose and wonder. Not all mysteries were solved, however. She often wondered about the Lumina, about the Chronos crystal, and if others would ever find Ethelgard. These questions lingered, a gentle hum in the background of her extraordinary new life. Now, for your next intriguing question, what do you think Elara learned about herself during this unexpected journey? How do you think her perspective on life has changed, even without her personal memories? Share your thoughts on her transformation in the comments below. Your insights help us all reflect on our own journeys. What an incredible tale, was it not? The unexpected journey takes us to the very edge of our imagination, reminding us that the world is full of wonders, both seen and unseen. Now, let us take some time to unpack this story, to test your listening comprehension, and to delve deeper into its themes. This is your opportunity to solidify your understanding and expand your English vocabulary. First, let's recap the story briefly. We met Elara, a precise cartographer from the traditional city of Eldoria, whose life was turned upside down by the discovery of an ancient, impossible map. This map led her on a perilous journey through uncharted territories, filled with strange phenomena and natural obstacles. Her adventure culminated in the discovery of Ethelgard, a hidden city of light and ancient knowledge, where she faced a profound moral dilemma: sacrifice her memories of home to save the city. She made the selfless choice, gained immense wisdom, and returned to a new, modern world, carrying the echoes of her journey and a new purpose. Now, let us test your comprehension. I will ask a few questions about the story. Feel free to pause the podcast after each question to formulate your answer. Do not worry about perfection. Just try your best. 1. What was Elara's profession in Eldoria, and what was her personality like? Answer. She was a cartographer, known for her precision, attention to detail, and quiet nature. 2. What mysterious object did Elara find that initiated her journey? Answer. An ancient, forgotten map depicting a land that should not exist. 3. Name 2 types of obstacles or strange phenomena Elara encountered on her journey to Ethelgard. Answer. Treacherous mountain pass, dense forest with iridescent blue trees, glowing ground, unusual animal sounds, ancient unidentifiable ruins, a river with an unusual current, flowers that change color with her mood, a cave that whispered forgotten languages. For what was the true nature of the hidden city of Ethelgard, and who were its guardians? Answer. It was a nexus of time and magic, a sanctuary and living library of forgotten knowledge, maintained by beings of pure energy called the Lumina. 5. What profound moral dilemma did Elara face in Ethelgard, and what was her decision? Answer. She had to choose between sacrificing all memories of Eldoria to recalibrate the Chronos crystal and save Ethelgard, or finding another way. She chose to sacrifice her memories. Excellent. How did you do? Remember, even if you did not get all the answers perfectly, the act of listening and trying to recall details is fantastic practice. Now, let's expand your vocabulary. Here are 5 to 7 key words or phrases from the story that are worth adding to your English toolkit. Cartographer, noun, a person who draws or produces maps. Example, the ancient cartographer spent years mapping the stars. Heirloom, noun, a valuable object that has belonged to a family for several generations. Example, this antique watch is a family heirloom. Treacherous, adjective, dangerous, especially because of hidden or unpredictable dangers. Example, the mountain road was treacherous after the storm. Uncharted, adjective, of an area of land or sea, not mapped or surveyed. Example, the explorers ventured into uncharted territory. Phenomenon, noun, a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose cause or explanation is in question. Example, the aurora borealis is a beautiful natural phenomenon. Catalyst, noun, a person or thing that precipitates an event. Example, the invention of the internet was a catalyst for global communication. Dilemma, noun, a situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between 2 or more alternatives, especially equally undesirable ones. Example, she faced a dilemma, either miss the concert or upset her friend. Finally, let's engage in some deeper discussion. These questions are open-ended, designed to make you think and connect with the story on a personal level. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you were Elara, would you have made the same choices throughout her journey? Why or why not? What does the unexpected journey teach us about facing the unknown and embracing change? How does this story relate to your own English learning journey? Have you faced any unexpected challenges or made any surprising discoveries? Your answers to these questions are not just about practicing English. They're about sharing your unique perspective and engaging with our community. So, please answer one of the comprehension questions or discussion points in the comments below. Your answers help you practice your English and engage with our community. What a journey we have shared today, both through the story of Elara and through the fascinating world of English vocabulary and comprehension. The unexpected journey is more than just a tale. It is a metaphor for life itself, and indeed, for the process of learning English. Just like Elara, we often find ourselves on paths we did not anticipate, facing challenges we did not foresee, and making discoveries that change us forever. My own reflection on this story centers on the theme of courage. It takes immense courage to step away from the familiar, to embrace the unknown, and to make sacrifices for a greater purpose. Elara, the quiet cartographer, found an inner strength she never knew she possessed. And in the same way, every one of you, by choosing to learn English, by stepping out of your comfort zone to speak, to listen, to understand, is demonstrating incredible courage. You are embarking on your own unexpected journey, and every new word, every understood sentence, every confident conversation is a testament to your bravery. Remember, the path to fluency is rarely a straight line. There will be unexpected turns, challenging moments, and perhaps even times when you feel lost. But just like Elara, if you remain curious, determined, and open to the unexpected, you will discover hidden treasures and unlock new levels of understanding. The beauty of the unknown is that it holds infinite possibilities. As we conclude this episode, I want to give you a little hint about our next adventure on the Daily English Subtitled Podcast. We will be delving into another aspect of English that is crucial for natural communication, something that often confuses learners, but is incredibly common in everyday speech. So, be sure to tune in for our next episode, where we will continue to unravel the mysteries of the English language together. For your final call to action for this episode, what is one aspect of English learning that feels like an unexpected journey to you? Is it a particular grammar rule, a pronunciation challenge, or perhaps the cultural nuances of the language? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us continue this conversation about the fascinating, sometimes unpredictable path to English mastery. We have now reached the end of this captivating episode, English Story Podcast, The Unexpected Journey, Listening and Comprehension. I hope you not only enjoyed Elara's adventure, but also found it to be a valuable and engaging way to improve your English listening skills and expand your vocabulary. Your dedication to learning English is truly inspiring, and I am so grateful that you choose the Daily English Subtitled Podcast as your companion on this incredible journey. Remember, every story you listen to, every new word you learn, and every question you ask brings you closer to your goal of English fluency. If you found this episode valuable and entertaining, please show your support by giving it a big thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more English learners who are eager to explore the language through engaging stories. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the Daily English Subtitled Podcast and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of our future episodes, especially our next exciting adventure. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the unexpected. The world of English is vast and full of wonders, and I am here to guide you through it. I look forward to our next lesson together. Goodbye for now.